You're watching Macro TV. We are busy with the Solow model, study unit 4 and chapter 8 of Berger. In our previous video, we analyzed the savings rate and how that could, what the implications are for changing the savings rate for growth per person in the long run. Today, we're going to be doing the same thing, but rather for population growth rates. I'm going to look at how changing the population growth rate could impact growth into the future. Again, we're starting with an economy in equilibrium. So you can see our graph there already has our actual investment per person, our required investment per person, our total production function, as well as indicating the equilibrium points of income per person and capital per person. Then we go and we assume there's a reduction in the population growth rate. And when that changes, when the population growth rate changes, as you can see, that is a portion of our required investment per person. So our required investment per person curve would shift to the right. And we would then have a new point of equilibrium, one where capital per person is higher, and our income per person is also higher. So, in other words, a reduction in the population growth rate resulted in income per person being higher because we're distributing income with fewer people over time, and the same for capital. Capital per person is higher. Now, this again has some limitations as a policy measure. Firstly, there's all kinds of moral questions about changing population growth rates that we're not going to go into in depth here, but there are some questions that need to be asked as economists about the validity of trying to change the population growth rates and how okay that is, and in what ways you would go about doing that. Then there's also the economic limitations, such as the shape of the total production curve, and because we have diminishing marginal returns to labor and capital, this policy would have limited impact. You can also only decrease the population growth rate by so much. You cannot push it to zero and have no new people in the population. That would completely destroy your labor force. So obviously we cannot use this indefinitely, and therefore this has limited ability to be used for the long run, for sustained economic growth per person. In this video, we analyzed the population growth rate and how changing that could impact shifts in the Solow growth model and what the implications of that could be for GDP per capita. Stay tuned.